This is Art History with Kenneth on the KJL Podcast Channel, a series where timeless masterpieces are brought to life through the lens of artist and host, Kenneth J. Lewis Sr. Each episode takes viewers on a visual and historical journey, uncovering the stories, styles, and significance behind the world's most influential artists and art movements. From bold brushstrokes to revolutionary ideas, this is where the past meets creative perspective. The journey begins now.
Welcome back to the Art History Show right here on the KJL Podcast Channel. I'm your host, Kenneth J. Lewis Sr., self-taught artist, painter, and storyteller. And today, we're diving into the world of a man who painted not for galleries, not for praise, but because he had something on his heart. This is the story of Horace Pippin, a man who served his country in war, lost the use of his arm, and still went on to create paintings that speak louder than most artists ever will. This episode is called Broken Arm, Unbroken Spirit, the art of Horace Pippin. Let's get into it. Horace Pippin was born in 1888 in Westchester, Pennsylvania. He grew up working class, raised by a single mother, and had little formal education. He started sketching as a child on scraps, on boxes, anything he could get his hands on. He worked hard jobs: hotel porter, stable boy, factory laborer. By the time World War II broke out, he enlisted and served in the all-black 369th Infantry Regiment, famously known as the Harlem Hellfighters. In 1918, Pippin was shot in the right shoulder by a sniper. He survived, but his dominant arm was never the same again. For most people, that's the end of a story. But for Horace Pippin, that was the beginning. In the 1930s, he began painting again, using his left hand to guide his injured right arm. Painful, slow, but determined, he wasn't trained. He wasn't taught technique, but his vision. That came from lived experience, and it showed. Now let's talk about the 8 powerful works that define who Horace Pippin was, not just as an artist, but as a man. First, we have John Brown going to his hanging. In this one, we see a quiet, powerful moment from American history. John Brown, the white abolitionist, walking to his execution. But Pippin doesn't dramatize it. He dignifies it. You see the onlookers, but they're emotionless. It's cold, it's real. These paintings force you to pause and feel. Next, we have Cabin in the Cotton. Simple scene, small wooden house, but the textures and lines speak to the life in the rural South, black life. You can almost feel the weight of the sun. It's not nostalgic. It's memory. Pippin is showing you the way life looked and how it felt. Then we have Holy Mountain. This is where his spiritual side takes over. It's a biblical landscape, a place of peace. It looks like paradise, people in harmony, animals side by side. He's not painting religion as rules. He's painting hope, a world untouched by war or racism. Next, we have the end of the war, starting home. This one is personal. Soldiers returning from World War I, not cheering, not marching in triumph. They look heavy, worn down. It's Pippin's way of saying, yeah, we survived, but not unchanged. Then we have one of my favorite pieces, the Domino Players. Now we shift into domestic life. 2 women sitting at a table, mid-game. It's warm, intimate, no grand story, just life happening. You've seen this scene before in real life. Pippin just painted it. Now we move on to giving thanks. This one, it hits different. A black family at the table, heads bowed in prayer. Simple food, simple room. But the atmosphere is heavy with gratitude. You can tell they've seen hard times, and they're still thankful. Next up, we have the interior. The interior is a quiet domestic scene that captures a moment of everyday African American life with dignity and care. The painting shows a warm, modest room where a young girl is seated at a table, focused on her schoolwork or reading, while an older woman, likely her mother or grandmother, tends to something near the stove. The setting is intimate with soft lighting and rich details, including a pot-bellied stove, a patterned rug, and neatly arranged furnishings, reflecting Pippin's attention to the strength and structure of home life. Through its simplicity, the painting honors resilience, education, and the importance of family. Then we have the park bench, an old man sitting alone, park all around him, but he's in his own world. Is he lonely, tired, peaceful? We don't know. But we know his body's been through something. And that's Pippin right there. He shows us emotion, but never forces it. You meet his paintings halfway. Horace Pippin passed away in 1946. He didn't paint for long, but what he left behind is unforgettable. He was the first African American painter to gain national recognition in the 20th century without formal training. His work now lives in the collections of the MoMA, the Metropolitan Museum of Art, the Barnes Foundation, and the Philadelphia Museum of Art. But more than that, he opened a door. He proved that your art doesn't need permission, that pain can speak through color. That memory is enough. And that even with a broken arm, your spirit can still create masterpieces. This has been the Art History Show on the KJL Podcast Channel. I'm Kenneth J. Sr. Thank you for taking this journey with me into the world of Horace Pippin. If you felt something from this episode, share it. If you learned something, tell somebody. And if you love stories like this, subscribe and come back next week. Because here, we don't just talk about art, we talk about the soul behind the stroke. Until next time, stay visionary, stay open, and always dig deeper. Thank you for joining me today on the KJL Podcast Channel. Your time, support, and creativity mean the world to me. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. It helps keep this artistic journey alive and thriving. Hit the notification bell so you never miss a brushstroke, story, or inspiring moment. Your encouragement fuels the art, podcast, and everything we create together. Stay inspired, stay curious, and remember, every masterpiece begins with a single brushstroke. Until next time, this is Kenneth J. Lewis Sr. signing off from the KJL Podcast Channel. See you soon.